What's up, everyone? In this video, we're going to be going over some stuff, some Bitcoin hopium, as well as some news, going over the Bitcoin charts, why I'm still very bullish on the crypto space overall, and some other important stuff as well. Before we get started, I do appreciate if you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the bell if you do want to be notified for regular crypto videos. All right, everyone, so the crypto space still isn't looking too great. We do have a very small recovery today. Bitcoin and Ethereum up 1.5%. Slowly climbing here. BNB up 4.5%. A few others up around 4% and more, like Solana, Dogecoin, Avalanche up nearly 8%. So Dogecoin, I believe, is going up because Elon Musk did a tweet to McDonald's, which is pretty funny. He said, "I will eat a Happy Meal on TV if McDonald's accepts Dogecoin." So McDonald's has been following a lot of people in the crypto space right now because of the market crash. Everyone's stating they're going to go work at McDonald's. They actually followed me here as well, and a few other people in the crypto space. So in response to Elon Musk's tweet to McDonald's, they actually did reply here stating only if Tesla accepts Grimace coin. And of course, someone instantly created a Grimace coin. Not sure what blockchain they did this on, but they created this very quickly, instantly started pumping. There are some charts here that have been posted. Pretty much went up 10x from the creation in just the last hour or two. So that just goes to show how easy it is to create a cryptocurrency, especially on certain blockchains. They make it extremely easy. You could throw one up in a matter of minutes and start selling it on decentralized exchanges if you provide liquidity. So be careful of that. Hearing about new altcoins, always make sure you do your research. Of course, McDonald's didn't actually launch a Grimace coin. They're just joking with Elon Musk here. But it is a possibility they do consider this to do some type of collaboration with Elon Musk. McDonald's getting into cryptocurrency. So I do want to talk about the Bitcoin chart, and this tweet I did find on Twitter comparing Bitcoin to the S&P 500 back into the early 2000s when we did have the dot-com bubble. So if we check out this image here, we can see this is where Bitcoin currently is. We just had two peaks, and that does look awfully similar here to the S&P 500 back in the early 2000s. So we did have multiple peaks, but of course this played out over a year's period of time, when this current Bitcoin peak that we see here has played out in the last year. So we can see the Bitcoin chart is set to the 1 month on this, and the S&P 500 index is set to the 12-month. So each candle here represents an entire year. Even though they do look similar, it is hard to compare these two together, but it is very possible we do make a recovery here with all the mass adoption on the horizon, everything happening. Could play out somewhat similarly. If we do see that, Bitcoin would be going to a couple $100,000, having a similar pump to this. Of course, that is very possible in the crypto space. Anything is possible. We could enter a bear market. Something massive could happen in the next couple months, and we enter a massive bull market again. Anything can really happen in this space, which is why it's so important to have a good entry and exit strategy. Be taking profits on the way up, and know where you want to be buying on the way down. And never invest into these volatile markets with what you can't afford to lose, because more likely than not, if you're here for the short term, you are going to be one of the people that does lose. That's why I have a very long-term strategy to cryptocurrencies. I've been very successful with that dollar cost averaging and having a good strategy. If you guys do want to get a strategy put together, I do have a crypto guides playlist in the top right of this video. Lots of great value in there. So I did open these charts so we can look at this closer. The S&P 500 here. As we can see, those two peaks on the 12-month candles, we can see it did actually peak out, very similar to what Bitcoin currently did, and then bottom out here, but never going back down to where it started previously before it did pump. Same thing with Bitcoin here. If we do zoom out, we did have two similar peaks where both of them are holding around $30,000, and then not going back down to where it was previously, end of 2020. So I'm not saying this is going to play out similarly, but it is interesting to find stuff like this and make these comparisons and see what's possible. Keep in mind, no technical analysis signals or indicators are ever going to be 100% accurate, and you should always do your own research, understand how volatile the markets are. The US government could come out and try to ban cryptocurrency or something, which is very unlikely, but something like that happening that's really bearish and causes a lot of fear in the markets will send down Bitcoin and the entire crypto space instantly altogether. We've seen this happen multiple times on news that really isn't that horrible, causing 20 to 50% market crashes in a short period of time. So that's what you get with volatile markets. While there's so much profit to be made, in short periods of time. There's also major crashes that will happen at the same time, so you do have to be prepared for that. Understand that when you're getting into this. That's why dollar cost average, because even though certain times things are extremely bullish and I could go all in and make big profits if it does go up a lot, instead I do spread out those purchases and dollar cost average and get a lower entry overall, buying the major dips along the way instead of just buying all in because of extreme greed. More likely than not, buying in during greed is going to leave you wrecked in the short term. In the long term, it could work out, but that's why it is very important to have a good strategy. So a few more people did chart this comparison as well in the comments. Always hearing comparisons between these two on crypto Twitter, so decided to do my own, Bitcoin and SPX. And as we can see, the second drop though, it did actually drop further than the first time. If something similar played out to that, Bitcoin would be testing 20 to 25,000 shortly before it does start recovering to new all-time highs. This is just a comparison though. I don't really think anything like this is going to play out, but just to give you guys an idea here, it would drop to around $20 to $25,000 before recovering back to $150 to $200,000 Bitcoin. I do not think it's going to play out like that, but it is an interesting comparison that we can check out. Another chart here. Anyone else feel like we're mimicking the 20-year SPX 500 on a much shorter time frame? So we are comparing this from the 12-month for the SPX to the 1 month for Bitcoin. So if we do see something similar, that would be great. That would mean there's huge upside potential throughout 2022, which I do believe there actually is, with all the mass adoption happening and all these companies getting involved with the metaverse, NFTs, cryptocurrency. We have companies like MicroStrategy, and we do have El Salvador continuing to buy Bitcoin every dip as well. So we do have a lot of people worried that Michael Saylor will start dumping some of his $5 billion worth of Bitcoin that MicroStrategy does hold. I really don't think they're going to do this though, and they're just going to continue buying more and more Bitcoin. And the lower we go, the more Bitcoin they are going to be taking out of circulation, because the more Bitcoin they will be able to buy with that same amount of money. They have a very long-term strategy here. I do think he sees Bitcoin getting to over $1 million in the long term. We also saw Cathie Wood state this as well. Cathie Wood's ARK Invest, we predict Bitcoin could exceed $1 million by 2030. So we do have a lot of people here looking at this for the very long term, which is very smart in my opinion. Looking at the short term in a very volatile market really isn't safe. So he stated he wouldn't sell any of his $5 billion worth of Bitcoin. He also stated our strategy with Bitcoin has been to buy and hold, so that to the extent we have excess cash flows or we find other ways to raise money, we continue to put it into Bitcoin. So any chance they get to raise more money by selling stock, doing anything else, getting more cash flow into the company, they're putting that cash into Bitcoin, holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet, and buying up as much Bitcoin as possible because they see the very long-term potential with this. He also stated Bitcoin's not a trade, it's a technology. We also had the president of El Salvador comment, and they recently bought the dip. El Salvador just bought 410 Bitcoin for only $15 million. So they are buying every major dip as well, but nowhere close to the extent of Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, where they're buying hundreds of millions at once. El Salvador is buying $5 to $20 million at once. But still, it is great that there are major figures like this continuing to dollar cost average and take Bitcoin out of circulation. It does show confidence as well. Not like we did see with Tesla, where they did sell a decent percent of their Bitcoin after making their first acquisition, not dollar cost averaging in anymore. We actually did see Tesla buy into Bitcoin again and then announce they're accepting Bitcoin as payment again. That will once again be very bullish for this space, and it will give the green light to other institutions to start buying Bitcoin as well. So lots of crazy stuff happening here. We also had some other news breaking. IMF urges El Salvador to remove Bitcoin as legal tender. Edward Snowden commented on this. Somebody sounds nervous. People speculating that this means other countries are soon to start accepting Bitcoin as legal tender again. Also, some people are actually bearish on this as well. So I'm seeing mixed opinions on this. Will be interesting to see how that plays out. We did have another comment here. IMF worried other countries will follow El Salvador. Quite bullish that they take Bitcoin that seriously and are worried about the domino effect of nation state adoption. Once we get a few more countries doing this and seeing a benefit, and if we see Bitcoin going up to $100,000 to $200,000, then more countries will start jumping on board and doing this. And I did see predictions that a couple more countries are planning to do this in the short term that are in South America. So we do have some other bullish news also. Just in $8.1 trillion, Charles Schwab considering filing for Bitcoin and crypto spot ETF. So we do not have a spot ETF for Bitcoin yet, and that will be extremely bullish. We saw how bullish things got when we did see a futures ETF get approved. Now we need to get a spot ETF approved, and that will be even more bullish for Bitcoin and the crypto space. So that's the next step here, is to get a spot ETF approved. We do have multiple institutions that are applying and pushing for this. Definitely very bullish. So just a picture here, gold mining versus Bitcoin mining. So many people giving Bitcoin crap because of the environmental effect, but if we look at gold mining comparison, there's really no comparison here. Bitcoin is getting cleaner every single day, especially with China banning Bitcoin mining. I do think Tesla is soon to accept Bitcoin as payment again. They did state Bitcoin does need to have over 50% clean energy for Bitcoin mining before they do accept Bitcoin as payment again. I do think we're getting very close, and China banning Bitcoin mining actually sped that process up much quicker. So hopefully we do see Tesla do that, but with or without them, the crypto space is still going to be doing good with so much mass adoption on the horizon. So more breaking news, American Express is exploring ways for customers to redeem points for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. So we currently have every major payment processor getting into cryptocurrencies: Visa, MasterCard, American Express, PayPal. We did see Apple hiring for it. We did see Amazon hiring to create their own cryptocurrency. Also, we just had news that Walmart is going to be creating their own crypto and NFTs. Everyone is also getting into the metaverse, and NFTs are the building blocks of the metaverse. And all of these companies will be creating their own cryptocurrency for rewards systems and just basically things to further benefit their loyal customers. So very bullish on all that in the long term. It will take time for all of these companies to get developed and get their products and services launched. But regardless, we have hard proof here that all the major companies in the world are getting into cryptocurrency in one way or another. So we have another bullish statement here. I'm going to work to make Michigan the most pro-Bitcoin state in the country, says U.S. Senator Jim. So we get more politicians getting into Bitcoin regularly. We saw this last year with Miami, Florida, creating their own cryptocurrency actually, and getting in heavy on Bitcoin. Very bullish, and this is only going to increase over time. Another interesting post here: stop panic selling your Bitcoin to this guy. He's been buying $2 to $18 million worth of Bitcoin every few hours. If we actually zoom in here and check this out, we can see each transaction is for 50 to 100 Bitcoin at a time. And some of these are pretty close together, resulting in $2 to $18 million every couple hours. Just insane how much this single person is buying. This could be MicroStrategy. This just could be some random major whale out there. This could be anyone. But regardless, there's other whales out there doing this as well because they are bullish for Bitcoin in the long term. They're not looking to make a quick flip with this total amount of money, especially in volatile markets like cryptocurrency. You're not going to be able to flip $50 to $100 million, get a good profit on that very quickly. So I do believe whales are accumulating for the long term, like we have been seeing over the last year. They are very bullish with all the mass adoption on the horizon. They're fine with holding 5 to 10 years out and just buying every major dip. They're not worried when things do crash. They take that as opportunity, which is how good traders actually look at these markets. They remove emotion from the equation, and they are able to make better decisions than retail investors are. So last piece of news for today, just in: Thailand to regulate Bitcoin and crypto as means of payment for goods and services. This is pretty massive. An entire country looking to regulate Bitcoin and crypto and accept it for goods and services is huge. Increased accessibility to Bitcoin and cryptocurrency, more mass adoption, millions of more people using it is always a great thing. And I do believe this will become the norm as well. We'll be seeing more and more countries do this, especially as we see countries like this benefit from it. Then other countries will want to follow, especially as we lead into mass adoption with the metaverse, where everything will go online and cryptocurrency will be the main source of payment in the metaverse, where everything is digital. So that's it for this video. Things are slowly climbing here since starting this video. We are actually testing $37,000 Bitcoin now, up 2 to 2.5%. Ethereum on the rise as well. Definitely looking good, but keep in mind anything can happen here. I'm not stating that things are going to be going up. If things do follow this chart here that we did see, then we do have a little bit further to go down. But of course, this isn't going to follow exactly 100% accurately. So overall, I'm still very bullish for 2022, especially for NFTs, which is why I have been making videos on NFTs previously, stating how important it is to try to understand NFTs, especially with the metaverse going so mainstream. It's extremely important since NFTs are the building blocks to the metaverse, and the more you understand that, the better you will be in the long term. Just keep in mind, over 90% of NFT projects out there are going to be quick cash grabs. They're not going to continue building. They're not going to understand what utility to build and keep their community interested and involved in the project. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys found it useful. I will be doing videos more regularly now and have some other big updates coming and some project reviews, going over some altcoins I'm bullish on also. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys found it useful, and I'll see you guys in the next video.